A JudgeMagistR there was.
Greetings everyone, this is JudgeMagistR. For today's speedrun 101 episode, we're gonna be focusing on the Boar. Although this boss doesn't really change much in comparison from the intended run, there are still some tricks of which I'll uncover in today's guide. This is the table of content and the things I'll be going through this video, and without further delays, let's begin with the intentional ways of climbing. So Boar has different methods tied to specific sigils. For example, the head and the belly sigils he must step on this large pad, which will lure Boar to a specific direction, and Boar then will rush towards where the light beacons, and that will stun Boar enough time for you to ring the belly sigil. This method also cracks the head shell protection that Boar has. To fully destroy it, it must repeat the same process twice, which eventually will break the shell, allowing you to climb on the head and ring the bell sigil there. This might surprise some people, but you could also crack said shell with melee attacks or special arrows. As for the other sigils, it can be reached while Boar is stunned, but they can also be reached while Boar is in motion. You could either grapple on the upper level corners of the arena, or you could grapple at one of the 3 pillars to land above Boar. However, these pillars can be destroyed, so the chances of doing that are limited. And now we'll be going through the shaking variations, and Boar has 4 of them. The first one is every time you ring the bell from the thigh or the shoulder. In a very brief moment, Boar will basically leap, which will make your character lose balance. The second one is the head shake. If you ring the bell on the head, Boar will twitch his head to make you fall. As for the third one, Boar will rush in high speed, which will make your character also lose balance. This one is only done by his own volition. And the last one is not necessarily a shake, but every time you ring any bell sigil, Boar will recover from the stun. And while standing up, the character can be interrupted or lose balance while standing, which affects his entire body. So let's talk speedrun business, starting with this move Traversals. To make it work, however, we need to set a specific order of which bell sigils he should unbind. But first, the player needs to make haste to either the west or the east pads. When Boar rushes towards your way, you will ring the belly sigil, and that will make Boar recover from the stun. Roll to avoid ragdolling. Next, run towards Boar's hooves. I recommend only running your way to the sigil for this, but personally, I think the consistency can be increased by jumping as soon as your character steps on the leg. Timing it correctly should boost your jump enough to reach the thigh sigil. Alternatively, you could also grapple yourself at the nearest pillar as soon as you drop from the belly sigil. Always grapple to the highest point so you can land on Boar safely. On the third pad, Boar will enter his second phase, and the stun effects will not be applied to this specific moment, which means that you won't be able to ring the belly sigil for the third time. Instead of running away to the belly sigil, go to the shoulder sigil instead. I recommend to prep position yourself before Boar falls, but also only run towards Boar as soon as he touches the ground. The time window from this can be somewhat precise, so practicing your echo mode is required. From the shoulder, you could also make your way to the head sigil once you're done with it. On the second phase, Boar will run in circles of the arena, and there won't be any pads to lure him out since all of the walls are destroyed. However, if you stand in one of them, Boar will still rush towards your way and get stunned, and while he's down, you have 2 options. You could either unbind the belly sigil, or you could go for the head sigil now that the shell is destroyed. Recently though, another speedrunner named Tactic created a belly to head speedrun strat that allows you to unbind both sigils in one go. To do this, once you're done with the belly sigil, turn around Boar and grapple at the upper corners of the arena. Meanwhile that you're doing this, Boar will still be standing up, and that's when you jump off from the platform and land on Boar's head. This method is not beginner friendly, so I came up with 2 specific sigil routes to follow, and they range from beginner to advanced methods. I will post them in the description. Although there's no way to hasten the process on the belly sigil, the other sigils on the other hand, they can be half cycled. Lucky for us though, there's no precise timing as long as you're up Boar while he's stunned. The thigh sigil can be easily half cycled, and there's 2 times of which that can be done. The first is as soon Boar recovers from the stun. If you woke up Boar by ringing the bell, you can charge a second strike on the thigh sigil, but after that you will get interrupted, but also after he shakes you off, Boar will turn around and that allows you to half cycle again in case you missed it on the first time. As for the shoulder sigil, the only moment that can be done is when Boar is turning around. You have to ready yourself near the shoulder and then wait for Boar to stand up again, and that's when you can jump on the shoulder sigil. If you get there soon enough, that allows you to ring the bell once, and then when he turns around you can half cycle, therefore unbinding the shoulder sigil. The last one is the head sigil, and it can be done in the same way as the thigh sigil. However, this can only be done when the head shell protection is fully destroyed. The interesting thing about the head sigil specifically though is that you can either half cycle, but also you could one cycle them. The only way to one cycle, however, is to wake Boar up by ringing the bell on the head sigil, and then Boar will stand up, and while he's standing up, you may be able to ring the bell twice before getting interrupted. Just like the thigh sigil, Boar will also turn around, and that allows you to have cycle while he's turning around. Well, I believe that's a wrap for today's guide. If you have any questions or doubts regarding this boss or any boss in particular, please let me know in the comments or join the Pray for the Gods speedrunning server. I hope everyone is having a great day, and I see you on the next Speedrun 101 episode.